you fart in front of your partner? Why? Why not? Very rarely. I mean, I won't die of embarrassment. But I also won't do it out of respect for the fact that nobody else wants to smell that. The kids though. I fart on them a lot. No. I fart behind my partner. So it sneaks up on her. I will hold in a good fart and go find my wife to present it to her. No. But I also try not to do it in front of anyone if I can help it. The smell isn't pleasant obviously, so I prefer to go in empty room or the bathroom so no one else has to smell it. No embarrassment factor or anything. Just don't want to subject people to a stink unnecessarily. Yes. Sometimes I do it by accident. Sometimes I do it intentionally. When my partner visits. When we are in bed and we get quiet because we're trying to sleep. I'll randomly let one rip after about 10 minutes of silences and then we'll burst out laughing. I mean, according to the comments in our house. It's always the dogs. But yes. Yes, I do. We're married. I wasn't about to spend the rest of my life hiding a very natural bodily function. He also knows that I poop. If the farts don't stink. 100%. If they're peeling the paint off the walls. No. Nobody wants to exist in your stink. Cute but kinda sad story. My grandma and grandpa were together for 40 years. My grandma never farted in front of him ever. She was diagnosed with cancer and after a good battle was sent home on hospice. The day before she passed she farted in front of him. It wasn't loud and it really stunk, but we all knew it was her. My grandpa didn't even blink and apologized to us and took the blame. It was something small, but it's been years since it happened and it still gives me that awe feeling. He knew how she felt and her stance about farting in front of her partner. If I have to hold in my farts and be uncomfortable and be in pain, I don't need them in my life. Not purposely. I might have an accident every now and then. Like lifting something heavy. Yes. Because it's funny. You know, I never used to fart in front of women. I'd go to extraordinary lengths to avoid it. There were times I remember the gas cramps in my body felt like someone hammer-fisting my intestines. And I'd still hold it with all my might and make up an excuse to leave the room. Then I met my current girlfriend. By far the sexiest, most intelligent, attractive and all-around incredible woman I've ever been with. She let a loud and disturbing fart rip post-coitus about a week into seeing each other. I felt as though I heard angels sing and I immediately farted with vigor in response. We Dutch oven each other every other week or so. After a hangover. So much methane fills our room the average person would need a hazmat suit to even enter the house. We are two very feminine women and are not only free of gas and full of love 5 years later, but still extremely sexually attracted to each other. Fart around your partners, guys. My partner does because he can let out small, non-offensive ones where he just says excuse me and moves on. I have stomach issues, though, so it's not all cutesy for me. I'm never just going to let it out in front of him. I won't willingly in front of anyone. Honestly, I try not to do it in front of anyone. But especially not the woman who I'm trying to bang later in the day. Everyone farts. But that doesn't mean you have to flaunt your flatulence. I've actually had shifting philosophy on this in recent years. Short answer, yes, I do. But I have been making more and more of an effort not to recently. We have been married for over 11 years. And in the early years, by all means, no shame. Didn't care. Let her rip. Then one day a few years back I was talking to a guy who was a little older than me. And was on his second marriage. And he was giving examples of the things that he does differently now in his second marriage. And one of them was, try not to fart in front of your wife. To me this was mind-blowing. I couldn't understand why. But the more I thought about it the more it made sense. Now, this is absolutely not always the case. Many couples have very vibrant, harmonious, sex-filled relationships despite continuing to fart all over each other. However, I believe in many relationships. Once you get married, it's easy to stop doing the things you were doing early on. Possibly subconsciously. To try to get your partner to want to have sex with you. One of these is often not being gross. Now I get it. Farting is natural. And a good spouse will obviously know that. But I think some decent courtesy and effort to remain a gentleman goes a long way towards making many women continue to be sexually attracted to their partners. I try to walk into the other room when possible. I also try to stay in shape, be polite, and surprise her on occasion. If you stop doing all those things, you stop being the guy she wanted to fuck when she first met you. My humble opinion. No, and for a really weird reason. When I was growing up, my cousins constantly farted. On each other. On me. Out in public. Obviously in their home. I found it so gross that I swore I'd never fart in front of anyone if I could help it. I've been married for 11 years and I think I've farted in front of my husband 3 or 4 times. Yes, but not too much. I did it with my ex and he started getting gross with it. Farting basically every 20 minutes we were together to get a laugh. Last time I talked to him he told me he had a fart kink now. So, glad that's over. But not going to laugh if it is too much in my maybe next relationship. No, been married 7 years. BC, it's gross and I'm kind of a prude when it comes to bodily functions. If I'm being perfectly honest. Note. I do not expect the same of my partner. I'm just too self-conscious. Myself. If we can't fart freely around each other then that's not a lasting relationship for me. Home is the one place I want to be able to fart without fear. Dear Lord, no. But let me tell you about the infestation of barking spiders that follows me around. Nope. Small house and lots of lactose intolerance on both sides. My daughter doesn't give a shit though. I don't. Not purposefully anyways. Not even in front of my kids. It's a respect thing for me. No. Because I always want to show my wife that she is worth the effort of being polite in front of her. She does the same for me. There has to be some mystery in the relationship. That being said, both of us have let slip a few times. And it's never a big deal. We both do because we are only human. If it's really bad, we try to avoid dropping any bombs around each other. But sometimes it's a battlefield. An embarrassed older lady visited her doctor for help with a problem. Doctor, I don't know what's wrong. But I fart all the time. It's strange because they are both silent and odorless. But they keep coming out. In fact, I've farted about 6 times just sitting here. What can I do? The doctor replied. Here, take one of these pills every morning and then come see me in a week. A week later, the old lady came back to the doctor very upset. Doctor, those pills didn't help, they made it worse. I'm still farting. But now they stink horribly. The doctor replied. Good. Now that we've cleared your sinuses, we can work on your hearing. At this point in the relationship it's almost competitive, haha. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.